Welcome into the hot corner for it must be a Tuesday, but baby, it's always a Tuesday around here. Patrick Harris with you, Joe Fisher to my left, the big Will O on the ones and twos today.
Let's go, Will. Yeah.
What's up?
All right.
That was it.
Woo!
I can't hear you.
No, we're not doing that. I had to do that to a third grader today, and I was just like, nah, I'm out.
Isn't that the worst when you worst thing in the world when you walk into a place and it's like somebody's trying to get the crowd wild up and they're like, "How are we all doing today?" And everybody's like, "Woo!" And he's like, "I don't know, I can't hear you."
I think that's what the sales bosses need to start doing. Go full car dealership mode. Are we ready to do this, guys?
Are we ready to sell some stuff, guys?
Woo!
Nobody believes in us.
1080. 1080. Come on, I want to hear it.
It's like, can you imagine the locker room speech last night for Florida? Coach walks in, he's like, "Guys, nobody believed in us all year, despite the fact that a ton of people had us picked to win in the bracket. Nobody believed in us."
Do you guys, do you think I just gave up after I DM'd those girls 10 times and
Do you
followed
think
them
when
home?
the school came to me and said, "We're looking into stuff," that I gave up? Hell no.
Do you think I gave up on I kind of gave up on my marriage, but do you think I gave up after I liked 18 of her photos in a row?
Do you think those co-eds gave up on me? I don't think so.
Well, they kind of did. Very quickly, they gave up on you.
Dude, that was kind of rough. Like, I actually, small, quick story. I'm not a gambler. I'm not Big Will's bets over here.
Oh, yes, you are.
But I do love some college basketball.
Oh, yes,
you know,
you are a
I
gambler, Mr. Cleveland Indians to win the AL Central ticket at A.
Not looking great.
2 weeks in, got to overreact.
But college basketball has tended to be, over the last 2 decades, a good place for me to kind of swoop in on a little coin. I watch a lot of college basketball, but the tournament's crazy. You can watch a lot of college ball and flail out, and somebody picks mascots and they win it. You know, there's a lot of volatility going on there. The 3 times I have won the most money, my years might be wrong, but I think I'm correct, is 2007, Florida wins a natty. 2008, Florida wins a natty. And 2025, Florida wins a natty.
Oh, look at
I
you.
made $150 last night.
Gator go chomp.
And it's funny because, like, I don't like SEC. I don't like Florida. But there are times when Florida's good. I guess I know when they're good. Now, everybody knew that second one, the Billy Donovan days.
Oh, yeah.
They won a title, returned all
And then
5 starters
came
and
back,
their
right.
best bench player.
Right.
Different time of college basketball, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. But everybody knew they were going to win. It was the year before. They were a 4 seed. And I picked them, and I got lucky they played George Mason in a Final Four game.
I think it was the
And
second.
they beat Ohio State, I believe.
Yeah, and I think it was
Greg
the
Oden.
second title that they beat Oregon in like the Sweet 16 or Elite 8, something like that. I remember Oregon
Maybe
had
something
to play
like
them. I don't know if it was the Aaron Brooks Oregon team, but
I think the next year they lost, or they beat, I could be getting these flipped. I think the next year they beat Kevin Love and Russell Westbrook.
yeah, and I
at
believe
UCLA.
Was it?
When Ben Howland was just a juggernaut at UCLA, and then they fell off.
Was it also Luke Richard Mbamute on that team?
Mbamute,
Yeah.
was on that team.
What a name!
Darren Collison was the point guard, but Aaron Aflalo went to the draft the year before.
Is that right?
I believe that's right. And Aflalo's team went to the Final Four, but they lost. And the next year,
Yeah, it's
they had freshmen Westbrook and Love. and
2006 is when they beat UCLA. 2007 is when they beat Ohio
Okay,
State.
so I was off by a couple years.
yeah, yeah.
Hell of a game last night.
It was pretty solid. I enjoyed myself.
Entertainment factor, hell of
Yeah.
a game. Basketball, but entertainment, hell of a game.
Also,
You know I love college
and I'm
ball.
being a bit or hyperbolic here, rather. College basketball teams, when they have the ball and they need to either tie or win a game, are absolutely allergic at being able to execute a play to do such a thing.
Without a doubt.
It is.
Shining moment.
I was watching that game, and as soon as they called timeout and Houston had to draw something up, in my mind I was like, whatever they're going to draw up, they're going to fail miserably at trying to execute this play. But I had no idea in a million years that was going to happen.
That's the truth. And it's funny.
That was one of the worst last plays I've ever seen from a team that they tried to execute.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward goes, "Hey man,
At least
I hit
got
the
a
backboard
shot
and
up.
the rim."
That was just
It was tough. Like last night, I had to watch that game, rooting for Florida to win so I could win money. But I overtly wanted Houston to win. Calvin Sampson, go Cougs. He used to coach at Washington State. Of course I'm rooting for Calvin Sampson.
Where did he coach in between?
Indiana.
Is that what? Okay, I meant to look that up.
He had a
last
stop
night.
at
I'm like,
Indiana. I'm sure he had a couple other stops because he's pre-Bennett. He's not my time. Dick Bennett came back to Wazoo. Tony took over afterwards. So he's pre that. So he was at Wazoo before I was there. But remember the press conference where he was talking about how to pronounce Gonzaga?
Oh yeah.
You know, like he knows because he spent time at Wazoo. So I had to root for the Coug.
I got you.
But Gators won me $150.
I was rooting for Houston because I like champions that I have never seen before.
Totally.
I like seeing
Do it
new-
in the NFL too.
I like seeing new things. I like parody. So seeing Houston hoist a trophy, I would have enjoyed it. But now Florida wins their third. I want Florida football to be good again. I don't care about Florida basketball. I want Gator football.
You know
to get
what's
back on
funny
top.
is I really loved those Billy Donovan teams. I really did.
I mean,
Like Noah was annoying, but Al Horford was awesome. I really loved Corey Brewer.
Yeah.
I thought Corey Brewer was so fun to watch at Florida.
Wal-
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's-
Walter
it-
Hodge on that team.
It's
as
weird.
Well.
Do you ever can you disassociate college basketball with college football? Or do you think they're the same thing? Like now Alabama is good at college basketball.
Yeah, but
Does that bother you because they're good at college football?
It does bother me, and it's still kind of very much like F Bama. Like you
'Cause I
have
view-
your thing.
'cause
Like you
I-
don't need to be great at two sports.
Because
Okay.
I view Dan Lanning and Dana Altman almost at completely different schools.
Well,
I think it's because the sports are so different.
sports are different. Program is different. The fan appetite for said sport is different. Like if there wasn't a pro basketball team in Oregon, then maybe there would be a little bit more give and F
Mhm.
for the college teams. And I don't know. It's football is a different beast, man.
When I was at Wazoo, we had Alex Brink as the quarterback, birthday buddy. Shout out.
Mhm.
Love you, Alex. We weren't very good at football, but we were very good at basketball. But in the Pac-12, Pac-10 at the time, we were a football school. We're coming off Mike Price. Jason Gesser took us to a Rose Bowl. Ryan Leaf took us to a Rose Bowl. I was in high school during all that stuff. And when I got there, it was like, oh man, this football program. But Doba kind of sank the team. Paul Wolf was a bad hire. Leach showed up later after I'd already graduated and brought it back. But we had that dichotomy. It was like I went to basketball games. We had Dick Bennett, and then Tony took over. And when Tony took over, it was like, we basketball, baby. And it was such a different vibe going to games. And I think that's kind of what I'm saying is that the football to basketball vibe is completely different, especially live.
Yeah, I hear
And you can't drink at Wazoo in the stadium.
Oh, I don't know if Oregon. If,
But they gave you re-entry and they patted you down pretty lightly.
I don't
You
know if
can't
Matt Knight is
drink
like
now?
that.
No.
Still no.
If the Pac-12 still existed as we know it, Wazoo, Martin Stadium would be one of the only places that you can't buy alcohol.
I would assume Matthew
That's insane.
Knight in Eugene does because they do concerts and stuff down there. And
They
that's
sell alcohol at Autzen.
Yeah,
So I would
yeah.
assume they retrofitted Matthew Knight for the same.
well, again, just because of the idea that it's like they're having big musical artists come through
Mhm.
and doing big events down at Matt Knight, that I would assume that it is ready to go for booze sales, and them just saying no
But
for Ducks basketball. would be
Beasley
weird.
Martin, Beasley Coliseum and Martin Stadium, like, we don't need to drink more at Wazoo. Like, we got that covered.
Your livers
But
are
I did
pickled.
see the Doobie Brothers and Elton John at Beasley Coliseum, and we bought alcohol there during the show.
I have not been to a show at Matt Knight.
I've only been to a basketball game. I went to a Wazoo Oregon game there.
Yeah, went to a couple basketball games, and that is where I did my graduation. Was at Matt Knight Arena.
Matt Knight Arena is nice. It's like Rose Garden Light.
Yeah, if
I mean,
only they
it's
could
almost an
fill it up
NBA.
during basketball games, that'd be great.
It's almost an NBA place. Oakley Dokley. Well, that's enough about hoops. This is a baseball show, and that's what we'll get into today. A lot of stuff to get into. We'll continue in our theme of reactions.
Dude, did you know it's regular season?
It is regular season.
It's still amazing to me.
I saw a meme today that was Bernie Sanders in the Cleveland Guardians subreddit that said, "Once again, I'm asking for hits and runs.
Hey, all you need is one, though.
All you need is a walk, really." So we'll touch in on teams that we believe in their good starts, teams we believe that are bad in their bad starts. And we'll look around. How long can you play left field if you don't know how to play left field? But we'll start right here. There's a new $500 million man. And does this change things? What does this look like for the team? What does this look like going forward at the position? We'll do all that next. This is the Hot Corner, Portland Sports Leader, 1080 The Fan. #17 here, Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it. We are live from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. There's the fan text line, 503-864-6326. That bad boy will let you interact with us throughout the entire show. There's also the YouTube channel. What up? Shout out YouTube kids. Big O on the ones and twos tonight. I would have brought you a beer, but this beer is probably half of the caloric intake you do a day.
I let spring break be spring break, and we didn't
Good
do
for
any
you.
counting. And then we're back on the horse right now.
Do you
so we're
not
back on
drink
getting it down?
beer?
No, I drink whatever,
He
man.
drinks light beer.
I like Coors Light.
Do you
So
drink
I drink
Claws? I had a
that
white
a
He's
lot.
like,
I like
I don't
pub
drink
beer.
light beer. I drink Coors Light. It's literally in the name.
Coors Latte. I drink
Latte.
a pub beer.
I'm
I
a
love
Busch
a good
Latte
pub beer.
guy. I'm a Busch
Ooh,
Latte.
see, there you go. Oh,
That's
I
a
kind
Wazoo
of
thing, though.
see. That's Pullman water. I'll drink whatever though. Like if you put it in front of me, like I'll probably drink it and I'll like
God,
it.
he's still a kid. I'm so jealous.
So is that a no on the White Claws?
Oh, dude, I'll get down with the White Claw. It's seltzer season, baby.
It is seltzer season. I could see. I
Hey,
bet.
dude, I got the rooftop about to open. You ain't got to talk to me.
I bet Will could probably drink 12 White Claws before he starts feeling drunk. I'm sure
Is-
the buzz would kick in before that, but like getting drunk off of White Claws, I would say 12.
Is this like a Sebastian Janikowski thing? Did you ever hear the rumors of Janikowski at Florida
Drink
State?
before you play.
Yeah, no, not even that. It was like a Friday night and he wanted to go out. He would drink a 6-pack of light beer, Tallies, and pop a Roofalin and then go out.
Like a roofie?
Yes, sir. That's
Wow.
the rumor. Those are the
He
urban
roofied
legends.
himself.
He roofied himself, put down a 6er of Tallies, and then went out.
Wow. See, that's crazy. Now, I can't drink nearly as much as I used to.
Well, you ain't got no mass on you, dude. I'm
no.
fatter than you.
No, the mass isn't what it once was. But what I pretty much do is, once a week, once every other week, you go and you have a
you
good
get
time.
a cheat day, basically.
Yes, essentially. Yeah. I'm not like a casual, like I'm not going to have a beer with dinner. Like that's not going to happen. I'm going to go. If I'm going to drink, I'm going to go and we're going to go all day.
You know how I say it must be a Tuesday because it's always a Tuesday?
Yeah.
It must be a drinking day because it's always a drinking day.
Fair.
And
I
that's
get
why
that
I'm
weird.
40 and 30 pounds overweight, Will. Don't be like me.
You look great, man.
Oh, I appreciate that. He's lying to me, and that's why I love him so much more. That's why I love him so much more. Joe, I'm about to turn your Orioles game on this TV.
As you should.
The
It's nice
the
seeing my
Royals
O's
won.
at this hour.
I do like seeing. I got Tribe San Diego not too long ago. That was really fun. But I've also doubled down once again on Jackson Holiday in my fantasy league.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
I went for Rutch and I couldn't get Rutch. Someone snagged him before me.
Yeah, like I said, it's nice seeing my Orioles at this hour down in Arizona at Chase.
Chase Field.
Okay,
Chase Field.
double checking.
Well, let's get into it, guys.
It literally says on the TV, a foot above your head, Chase Field.
Chase Field.
I'm like, is that what it is?
Well, let's get into it, guys. It's baseball, where I'm very excited this is going down. You know what I think my most favorite thing is whether it's your day off or you're at work. Like, take me, for example. I work in a pub, and we got TVs everywhere. And today I had baseball on because that's always really fun. And then, of course, we had... It's really hard. I kind of think about the boys in the morning, Dirt and Sprague. Like, we get to sit in here tonight and we're watching a live sporting event. The boys in the morning, there ain't much live going on.
Yeah, except for this week,
Yeah, what do they got?
Masters.
Oh, that's right. They will get Masters, and they're golf pros, so they'll be very stoked about that. But I always feel very lucky that we're in here, and baseball is one of those that gives us, that kind of action. But let's dive right into it. The story of the week is the Toronto Blue Jays handed out a fat stack of cash.
Yes, they did.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will be in Toronto, according to his contract,
Forever.
for the next 14 years and $500 million. There's a lot of things that kind of go into this situation. There was a deadline that an extension needed to be met before opening day, before spring training, and they would not negotiate. However, behind the scenes, things kept going, and Toronto got the deal done. And I think I want to start here.
More like Vladdy and his agent got the deal done. Are you
But-
kidding me?
But I want to start here because the Blue Jays, kind of like the Padres in the National League, have been a team that there's a lot of players on there that I think could be really good. You could start the window, so to say, having your guys locked up and then build around them. I feel like 6 months ago, the end of last season, did we not feel like Toronto's window was completely closed and they were about to blow this up.
It started trending that way, and that's where we were even wondering what the hell they were going to do with Vladimir Guerrero. I remember on this very show 2-3 months ago.
Tuesdays 7 to 9. But you know that because you're listening.
I mean, I want to go back and check the records because we were talking about this not too long ago as far as what they're going to do with Vladimir Guerrero,
Right?
And if he was going to be traded.
I think we talked about it in spring training.
And I remember us throwing out what his deal would be if they decided to sign him. I threw out $400 million, and then we started doing some math, like a 12-year $400 million contract or 10 years, and we're like, well, I don't know, are they willing to give him that much? Yeah, they are, and then some. But I think this is part like Toronto kind of caving and being scared that they are going to lose him for nothing and probably giving him more than they needed to. Again, referencing us talking about it a couple months ago, I thought the max would be like at $400 million. And so you get him locked up. He's part of your franchise for the next 14 years. I don't know if there's an opt-out.
It puts him basically at 40.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's like 25, 26 right now.
I think he turns 26 in June is what I heard. I heard that today.
So then, yeah, you can focus on just building the team around him. Like, all right, our main piece is done. But the thing is that your team around him is not very good.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Like,
and so you have a lot of things to figure out.
Bo Bichette is in a big year.
Yeah.
Like, you thought he was going to be a cornerstone. Is he going to be a corner? You already kicked out Kevin Biggio. You're done on that. Springer has degraded massively. You get Santander on a cheap couple-year deal. But, yeah, that's how you build around. I mean, it's clear to me that Toronto is spending this money on Vladdy. It's like Soto deal. It's like a lot of these young kids that get these massive deals like this, as Corbin Carroll just went deep for the Diamondbacks.
Cool. Good for him.
It's
Go Hops, right?
It's one of these things where you kind of realize that at 37, 38, 39, 40, you're in Pujols hell. You're in A-Rod hell of paying a player more, like exponentially more than they're absolutely worth. But in theory, Vladdy for the next 10 years, jersey sales, team leader.
It's your cash cow.
Ticket attendance, all that kind of stuff that guy's going to pay off. But I feel like Toronto, to me, is a lot like San Francisco. They have money. They're willing to go after guys. They went after Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
San Francisco went after Aaron Judge.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Like, they are willing to do it. And San Francisco's been striking out on all these guys. But Vladdy is your dude. He's your guy. And his dad played in Canada. And I don't know if you're looking around, and we're not a political show here by any means, but if you're looking out, would you rather make $500 million in Canada or make $500 million in America?
I don't know.
There's a lot of
I
weird
honestly
stuff.
don't know how that all works out, but I'm going to guess that it's not bad to live in Toronto.
Yeah.
And make that kind of money.
And so that's where I give Toronto the kind of pass. Like you were saying, like, are you sure you really want to do this? Is this a desperate move? Is it a little desperate? Yeah, probably. But you got your guy.
Yeah, and I haven't, I haven't seen the breakout. Like if it, I don't think there's any deferment on this.
No, it's all up front. No deferment.
And then as far as if it is a escalating or de-escalating, I would imagine obviously it's going to go up as the years go on. But it's like, if you're paying him $40 million in the year 2033, like that's not that bad.
No, and I love that you bring that up. That's where I want to go next. What does this contract look like for Toronto? What does this contract look like for Pete Alonso?
$500
Josh
million
Naylor?
guaranteed money.
What does this look like? We're going to bring in some NFL into this because I got some comparisons. What does this contract? Soto, Ohtani, those are their own special things. But I feel like there's a lot to digest of this Vladdy contract, and that's what I want to get into next. But before we do that, I'll throw it over to Big O with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, got a lot going on in the MLB. Big Tuesday, everyone's playing. Cubs are up right now, 10-6 over the Rangers. The Brewers, they are up 4-1 over the Rockies. That one's in Colorado, bottom of the 6th there. I should say it's the top of the 9th in Chicago. The Cubs are leading the Rangers 10-6. You've got the Diamondbacks, they're trailing the Orioles. It's only the top of the 3rd right now. Oh, as I'm speaking, the Diamondbacks were able to get a home run from Corbin Carroll. That one's 2-2. Your Seattle Mariners are knotted up at 0-0 with the Houston Astros. 2 outs right now. Mariners do have a runner on first. Cal Raleigh up to bat. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Will Ortner from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Jump back to earlier parts.
Dive into things we like. Are we believers in hot starts? Are we believers in bad starts? Plus, Big O, you going to do a fair or foul at the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour?
I got one, and don't worry. I know you needed your producer to ask you Mariner questions because you don't get that enough.
You know what I'm going to have to ask
So are you going Mariner questions? Cause...
Just 2.
Oh, God.
Just 2?
Jesus.
50%.
I need to let what's his nuts. Schultze,
I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again.
I need to let Schultze know that we need more statistical trivia based fair or foul. I know that
Is
now,
Victor Robles being out the worst right field situation in baseball history?
Okay, there are some stats, but these aren't stat questions.
Damn it, Will.
I will say though,
I've got opinions and I
You
need
bitch.
help. I need help.
I will
There's
say
a drive in a deep
that,
left field by Castellanos. It will be a home run.
that Victor Robles catch was one of the best catches I've ever seen.
Totally, dude. And one of the best injuries back to Griffey with the wrist in the wall.
I'm going to say something, and I know it's really dumb.
Oh boy.
But when we look back on this year, And the Mariners don't make the playoffs because they
It's
missed
'cause of
Victor
that.
Robles back. Dude, if he just lets it go foul, it's a foul ball. If he lets it go foul, he doesn't break his shoulder. The runner who's on first doesn't get all the way to third, and they don't hit a walk-off. I know it's a stupid thing.
I think
I know it's stupid.
I think they put him, the runner, to second. They did not give him third. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, he got to third, so
Yeah,
then they
I
moved
think they
him back.
told him.
Hey, funny enough
because
about
of
that,
that.
we're totally going off the rails here. I did not know that because he was hurt, the runner couldn't advance to third.
I didn't know that either.
I
thought he was at third.
I watched it live. I was watching it live with some buddies at the bar, and we were like, "Oh, Robles looks really hurt." Guy was on third. They sent him back to second, and I was with some Mariner fans, and even they were like, "Wait, why is he going back to second? Because he was hurt?" Like, I understand ground rule double, things like that, but like, he caught the ball, the guy tagged and started running, and then he still threw the ball out. It'd be no different than like
because I think he
missing
was
it.
dying, that he wanted to
I know. I guess I'm
rise
just
in
saying.
pain rather than hold on, try and make a play.
I guess I'm just saying that I didn't know that that was a rule, that the guy is clearly hurt. So he goes, it's like
It makes sense
a
that
ground
it's a
rule
rule.
thing.
It makes
does
sense.
make sense, but I didn't know it was a rule.
Right. Well, because how many times does that happen? Like, when's the last time that happened?
Not
Griffey?
much, man. Usually guys like grab a ball, like Aaron
Julio?
Rowan. Remember when Aaron Rowan broke his face on the cage?
Well, and also, like, what about when, like, guys collide? You know, that happens too, and the
Right.
dude makes the catch, but they collide, and he's just
And the other
lying
dude's just
there.
still running, and
Yeah.
the guy's like home.
I think it's to prevent that, like those situations. Like, oh, the guy might be dead in deep left center field, but he's gonna come home and score.
And here's a pitch, and Victor Robles is dead, and he's all the way to third.
Yep, that's bone poking out of the skin right there. But the Giants are gonna come home and score a run.
Back in my day, that's good base running. He's on third.
Shouldn't break your arm.
Coming back to this Vladdy situation, I got some questions for you guys. Like, we see,
No.
you know, it's kind of like the quarterback market, how it always gets reset. You know, somebody signs a new long-term deal on this. You know, Patrick Mahomes is what? The 5th highest paid quarterback in the NFL, but probably should be number 1. Burrow was number 1 for like 2 weeks and then became number 2. We see this in baseball a little bit. I remember before we get to the Ohtani deal, which blew everything wide open, the Mike Trout deal was insane. And before that, it's A-Rod, 250, 10 years. You're like, whoa, this is insane. But what's interesting with the Vladdy Jr. contract is it has been a very long time. I think Pujols is the last one where we saw a first baseman get that kind of money. Pete Alonso is looking at another big, long deal. Josh Naylor in Arizona is not looking at a Vladdy deal, but is looking at a big deal.
Well, the way that Pete Alonso is playing right now and hitting the ball, he's definitely gonna get that deal.
So I had this kind of thought today. You know, Goldschmidt had some good years at first, got some good paydays. You know how running backs are back? The Saquons of the world. You know, we had that big gap between AP and Saquon, basically. Chris Johnson and Saquon.
Derrick
Henry, et cetera. You know, he goes to the Ravens and only gets, what, $12 million a year?
Soon to be future Dallas Cowboy.
Nah, he doesn't fit in their plans.
God, why am I already forgetting the Boise State running back's name?
Ashton
Ashton
Thank
Genty.
you. Yes.
Yeah,
He's
things
our
like
future
that.
running back, and I can't even remember his name.
The question is, does Vladdy reset the first baseman market?
I was about to say Jay Ajayi.
Stop.
Hey, great Boise State running back.
Does Vladdy, I'm more of an Ian Johnson kind of guy.
Oh, okay. Great White Hope.
Dude, Statue of Liberty. He proposed to the cheerleader after they won that game. Does Vladdy reset the first base market?
Well, I'm taking a look at some of the first basemen, the highest paid first baseman in the league, and I'm going to have to say nay. There's a couple guys that will get big contracts, sort of to the ilk of Vlad, but when you look at it, it's like Freddie Freeman. How old is he now?
33, 34.
And his contract, yeah, he's 35, so that ain't going to happen. He's not going to somehow command the same type of money. Next
Although he's
up,
still pretty good at 35.
Pete Alonso's going to get He's going to get his, but he's not going to get Vladdy money. Like he
But does he get more because of Vladdy?
gets more because of what he's doing right now. I would say. And I guess you can base it off of like, hey, this is the market price. Like this is what. But I feel very much that Pete Alonso is the exception, not the rule in this. Like
Is maybe Vladdy the exception too, and not the rule?
did I not say Vladdy? Or
Well,
did I say
you said Pete Alonso.
Oh, sorry. I feel like Vladimir Guerrero, yes, is the exception, not the rule in this. That it's like, I don't think if you're Naylor or if you're Christian Walker or if you're anybody else like that is gonna come in and be like, well, if you see what Vladdy's making, it's like, yeah, but that's Vladimir Guerrero junior Like that's
It's still a player by player kind of basis.
Are you a possible MVP? Are you in the running for MVP basically at the start of every season?
Are you
No.
somebody that everybody would die to trade for?
Yeah. So I'm not really buying it. I mean, also on the list, I mean, Bryce Harper, I feel like he's been in the league for 20 years, but he's probably, yeah, of course, he's only 32. Like,
He's been in the league for, if he's 32, he's been in the league for 13 years.
I mean,
I
how
believe
many?
he showed up in 19.
And I don't know if he has one of those contracts where you can rip it up and start anew. I mean, he is still.
Only A-Rod is really ripped up and started new. He signed three $250 million deals.
Harper signed through 31 until he's 38.
And that's a $400 million deal, or it's a 3 plus
330.
330, and then
But it's going to
Mookie-
go down in value.
And then I think after Bryce signed his, Trout signed his, which I believe is 460, but that's a 10-year 460.
So is it age
and then Mookie
then?
did his.
Is it age? Because
Without a doubt.
when you look at the first baseman on here, I could see a world where Pete Alonso gets an average annual value that's more than what Vladdy's getting.
Totally.
But he's not going to get the same years
It's gonna
because
be
right now,
it's like a 4-year,
right.
$250 million deal.
And Vladdy's 26. As I'm looking at the first baseman on here,
Yeah.
no one's even in that range
Yeah.
who even, their name pops off the screen to you.
But what I'm saying, because you see no names, does a guy like Josh Naylor in Arizona, who would probably command 21 a year on the market, but now that Vladdy has this and Pete's right behind him, does Josh Naylor get 27 a year?
So he Brett Boone's it.
What I'm saying is like, because there's nobody on the first baseman market, does this make the guys that aren't Vladdy level, but because it's so shallow, do they make more money?
Well, rising tide lifts all boats. Ronald Reagan taught us that. But I
Great
don't
economist.
right
Great. Trickle
clearly. But I don't know that. I don't know that at the end of the day, like it just seems like there isn't a lot of talent at first base. When you
Yeah.
pull up all the first basemen in the MLB,
And that's what I'm
it's
saying.
not there. So
Does it
then you're
make them-
overpaying for it.
Does it make them more valuable? Yeah. Does it make you overpay for them?
Or does it make them just go away and it's, hey, you can find the same first baseman, or do we see them start to go younger?
Hey, I know I'm biased, but that's why Cleveland traded Josh Naylor. They were like, he's going to be a free agent at the end of the 2025 year. And I don't want to pay him what he's going to cost. Might as well get something now.
The next young first baseman that could be on the come up, now granted his season isn't started very well, Tristan Cassis in Boston. He's
Yeah.
25, but again, he's straight cheeks to start this season so far for the Red Sox.
I don't know what that means, but I understood the reference.
Not good, Bob.
That's what I figured.
Again, looking at this list, like how old is Vinny Pasquantino? I mean, but is he of? Will they get paid a little bit more? Maybe, but also I just see that as an MLB thing. Like the way that they're throwing around money for all positions nowadays. Like
That's the last thing that I want to get into about how money is being thrown around in baseball. We talked about this a while ago. There was a guy that signed for a buku money and had a contract that we had never seen before. Baseball's a copycat league, and we expected it to be a copycat thing. And I would argue it's not. Is this the right move? Is this owner-driven? Is this player-driven? We'll do that next. That's Joe Fisher. I'm Patrick Harris, 1080 The Fan.
Thanks for making
into what we're believing on the good side and what we're believing on the bad side. Like, look, some people are bad. And how much do we believe that? And I'll throw in a little bit. When do you call it in left field for a non-left fielder, plus fair or foul at 8:30? But I want to kind of wrap up this Vladdy Jr. kind of situation, but take it a little bit away from Vladdy Jr. and look at this aspect. Joe, we talked about this last year in contracts and how this might reshape the league. I'm talking about Shohei. And we're talking about $800 million deal and 780, whatever the number is, deferred. Leaves you light on the books this year. You realize you're going to pay for it down the road. You're kind of doing the Trump thing, using credit to buy credit. And we saw the Dodgers do it with Roki Sasaki, Yamamoto, Blake Snell. That was the realm. And we always talk about baseball. We talked about torpedo bats last week. Baseball's a copycat league, all right? When you see something working for somebody else, that's what we do. Remember when the best hitter on your team batted third and the best home run guy batted fourth? You know, give me Ruth at 3, Garrick at 4. Manny Ramirez at 3, Jim Thome at 4. David Ortiz at 3, Manny Ramirez at 4. Like, that's how baseball was. Now it's like, let's put our best hitter at first in the lineup because they see the most plate appearances. We thought that this deferral thing was going to take over baseball. But guess what? Juan Soto, no deferred money. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., no deferred money. So my question is, where does this stem from? I have no research on it. I'm spitballing here. Are team accountants saying this is not a good investment for us to defer money? Or are players choosing to want their money now?
Well, I feel like if that was the case, we would see more players in LA doing that. But it doesn't, I don't know if the Dodgers have the secret sauce in the negotiating room where they're like, no, trust me, you're going to want this deferred. It's all good. Like, because I would think that it's like, who is it? Is it JG Wentworth? It's my cash and I want it now.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I feel like that is. Now, if it's guaranteed and it's deferred, it's like, well, all right, I guess you're going to just set me up for the next 30 years. And I don't have, even after I'm playing, like, I'm just going to get millions of dollars coming in every year. Like,
but we talk
that
about,
sounds pretty fine, too.
We talk about Bobby Bonilla Day every July 1. We talk about Bobby Bonilla Day. The Nationals are paying Max Scherzer until like 2035.
Well, when Bobby Bonilla Day runs out, it's going to be Chris Davis Day.
And Max Scherzer Day, honestly.
Well, again, those guys were good. The Chris Davis thing is going to be...
He won an MVP.
Chris Davis?
No, he didn't.
I was going to say, are you kidding me?
But he had 50 bombs that one year.
Yeah, before we paid
Loaded on drugs.
No, it was just for his Adderall, okay? That was before we paid him, too.
But I'm really curious about this. Like, we saw the Shohei deal, and you're like, and everybody in baseball, Bryce Harper had some really great quotes the other day. They were playing the Dodgers, took 2 of 3. Hey, shout out, took 2 of 3. Dodgers, not invincible. And they asked Bryce Harper, how do you feel about how the Dodgers are operating in terms of deferred contracts, getting people? And Bryce Harper, I'm paraphrasing here, said, if you don't like what they're doing, then you're a loser. You have to respect organizations that go after guys. However they're going to do it, they're going to do it. And if you don't like it, then kick rocks. And I guess I'm more surprised that the biggest contracts we've seen since Shohei and Yamamoto and Roki and everything that's going on in LA of the deferrals and Blake Snell, that we thought other people were going to do this, and they're simply not.
Is it a lack of understanding, possibly? Or is it one of those other things, too, where, like, Pete Alonso, like, Juan Soto's the perfect example. He gets paid by the Mets. Uncle Stevie's got that money. Like, when you have an owner that has that money, it might be a different situation.
But also, do you think the Dodgers don't have that money?
I don't know that they have all of that money.
It's true.
Like they
It's
have,
not Steve Cohen
Right.
owing them.
They have
owning
a
them.
bunch of money, but do they have the amount to where they can do that? Now, they have to put a certain amount in escrow, right? Because you can't just say, hey, we'll pay you later, and then not have that money saved away. I also wonder, too, with it, and the Dodgers are just taking advantage of a rule that they're allowed to, but I wonder with certain backgrounds of players and certain agents of players. Like, we know if Scott Boras is your agent, you're going to hit the market. All of his guys hit the market
Always
because
does.
that's how you're going to get paid the
Might
most.
re-sign with your team, but he's going to hit the market.
For a guy like Shohei, he is going to make so much money in endorsements, it doesn't matter when he gets this money.
Yeah, I think I saw a headline on MLB.com that it was like Fanatics is seeing things with Shohei Ohtani gear and uniforms that they have never seen in their existence
Right.
before.
Well, and that's part of kind of what I'm asking. When Shohei did it, we know that. It's kind of like Cooper Flag. Do you need to go to the NBA or can you stay at Duke because your outside endorsements make more money than what your salary is? I guess I thought Shohei would be the start of a new trend. And the reality is he's not. Looking at Vladdy's contract details right now, it's $35,714,286 every year till 2039. It's not escalated. There's no opt-outs. I'm sure he has a no-trade clause. That's every single year. And I think Soto's is probably the same. I can look it up right now. I guess I'm just surprised that everybody was so mad about what the Dodgers were doing that I thought they would copy it.
And what,
Pay for you later.
well, and what Bryce Harper said, like, only losers complain. Like,
He's not wrong. You know me on this show. We've been doing this show for 10 years now, and you know me on this show. I have been the most staunch Bryce Harper critic that I can think of.
now you love Bryce Harper.
I love him to death, and he's not wrong. He's a great baseball player, and he's not wrong.
Yeah,
You don't like it? Do something about it.
exactly. And it's like, Bob Nutting over there in Pittsburgh, instead of covering up Roberto Clemente memorial signage in the stadium, how about you spend the money to pay your players and give Paul Skeens whatever he wants and get players around him? Like, there's part of me that, it's just,
Joe Fisher the first in Oakland. I mean Sacramento. I mean the Athletics.
I just find it very much like, crying over spilt milk. Just you're crying foul to an issue that you definitely could fix yourself because you're a billionaire.
I think I was just surprised by it. Like Sandy Alcantara is going to be a free agent next year. He's getting dealt. Miami's going to deal him. And if he's the next Garrett Cole, who makes $34 million a year, why wouldn't you backload that contract?
Well, and it's easier said than done. Like, the Dodgers are unique in the sense that, well, yeah, we're going to spend $1 billion to get players, but also
Two
we're going to
guys.
make all of that back in merchandise sales this year.
I mean, they've already paid off Shohei.
Yeah, it's like we're fine. Not the case for some teams, but also,
Yeah, Milwaukee's not doing it. Cleveland's not doing it.
like, you're not going to make that much money in a year, based off of tickets. But also, I feel like there are teams, and it's similar to this market with our NBA team, that are just happy to kind of be there.
Yeah, I mean,
They're just happy to have a team. They're just happy to, the owners are happy to make money off of a business to them that they see as a business. And then there are some owners and ownership groups that are like, this is sports. You play sports to win, and you want to win championships. And that's what we're going to try and do. Because also, when you put together a winning product and a team that is competing for championships, guess what? People like to watch that. They like to spend their money on that. They like to buy jerseys. They like to buy tickets. They like to buy season tickets. They like to spend a lot of money on the team and franchise, and that, all of it. So if you are a mid-market, small market team that is not willing to invest in building a winner, then you are just happy to get what you get, and that's it.
And it's not brand specific either. The Chicago Cubs, one of the biggest brands in baseball, one of the biggest brands in American sports, correct? I would bet you $500 that Kyle Tucker will not be a Cub next year
You think they're going to cheap out, huh?
because they won't spend it.
Cubs
They didn't-
fans already are saying it.
They
like
didn't.
he's
they,
gone.
They didn't spend it on Chris Bryant. They didn't spend it on Sosa. They didn't spend it on Zambrano. Any of the great Cubs of the last 20 years, they haven't spent on it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not even brand. I'll take FNG or FSG, Fenway Sports Group. They own the Boston Red Sox. They have a NASCAR team, and they own Liverpool, who are most likely going to win the title in the English Premier League.
I also believe they're in talks for the NBA expansion.
I
team.
also agree. I think you're right. They're looking at the Vegas team.
I believe that's right.
There are 3 players on Liverpool that are the cornerstones of that team. One is the best player in the world. The other is the best defender in the world, and the other is a hot shot that Real Madrid want. They are worried about not being able to spend the money to have them. Meanwhile, they will spend $400 million on Rafi Devers, but they won't do it over there. So it's like brands aren't big enough to some people. They just won't spend that money.
I was curious about this, and I just looked it up. They did pay one guy, the Chicago Cubs, Alfonso Soriano.
Yeah.
Eight
It
years,
bit them.
It kind of did, yeah.
And it
eight
bit them.
years, 136.
And it bit them, and they're like, well, Alfonso Soriano wasn't a good contract, so this Kyle Tucker guy's probably not very good. And it's like, okay, cool. He'll be in right field in New York. Thanks. Appreciate that. Rest of baseball, thanks you.
Well, but that shouldn't deter a team from taking a chance on a player who is clearly good in your uniform right now. And the way that the Cubs have been playing to start this year, like,
You dealt top prospects, and Kyle Tucker is raking.
I get it. And that's where I am. Maybe it's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Right.
Like, we gave Alfonso Soriano money. We didn't re-sign our own guys. Now we're in a position where we have a good team. The way that the Cubs have started the season, I don't think, and we're going to get into this the second hour, I don't think that's a fluke start for them.
I don't think so either.
I took them to win the division.
Ditto.
So it might be one of those where, yeah, that's a team, that's a player that you want to pay. And wouldn't you know it, when you have a good team, pay the players that are making that happen for you and keep bringing people into the stadium. But the Cubs also an outlier because Wrigley Field costs $1 billion to get into.
Yep.
So people are just going to keep showing up and buying their gear because they're the Chicago Cubs.
And Joe's completely right. And that's what we call a transition in professional radio. When we come back, what are things that we believe in of teams that have started hot? Loaded second hour. Don't go anywhere. Hot corner. Today the Fan. Hey, it's
from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, big news in the NBA today. The Denver Nuggets have agreed to part ways with their head coach, Michael Malone. They also told GM Calvin Booth he will not be extended once his contract expires this offseason. They're going with a whole new regime in Denver. David Adelman is going to take over for the rest of the regular season and the postseason as the interim head coach. Over in the MLB, Mariners just get out of the top of the fifth. Luis Castillo still going strong, although they were having some movement in the bullpen. They're going to the bottom of the fifth right now against Houston. That one is knotted up at 0 in Seattle. Elsewhere, it's the bottom of the fifth in Arizona. Orioles tied with the Diamondbacks 2-2. Corbin Carroll hit a bomb to tie that one up for the Diamondbacks. And in Colorado right now, the Brewers are absolutely taking it to the Rockies. That one's 7-1. Top of the eighth in that one. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Will Ortner from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Tired of getting dinged by subscriptions? We won't send you a bill.
Atlanta and the state of Georgia, what a marvelous moment for the country and the world. A black man is getting a standing ovation in the Deep South for breaking a record of an all-time baseball idol.
Welcome into the second hour of the Hot Corner. You're missing the first hour. You can get that at the Fan Podcast at todaythefan.com, the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts, including places that rhyme with hammering a five. Today is the anniversary of Hank Aaron breaking Babe Ruth's home run record. Shout out Henry Aaron, the hammer himself. As a lover of the history of baseball, it is probably a top 5 moment in the history of baseball. Hank hitting 715.
It's pretty cool.
Black man.
Pretty cool. And
Color
he did
boundaries.
Did it off the juice as well.
I saw a cool thing today. I was reading some stuff and heard some things. Henry Aaron, they think that Henry Aaron never hit a home run over 400 feet.
I mean, that would just make it even more impressive.
Because he was just a guy that hit it over the fence.
Like
I saw Schwarber hit one the other day that was 444. And you're like, 444? That thing looked 544. But Hank just hit it where they ain't.
Yeah, that's hard to believe, though, almost. That he was
I
just
know.
hitting like in between 350 and
of course,
390.
We're going folklore. We're building it up, Joe. Come on, we're getting the ghosts in here.
I'd like to think
you know how we like to
blasted some
romanticize baseball.
430, 440 home runs.
Oh,
but
yeah, dude. Like, one of my favorite stories in baseball history is that Ty Cobb was walking through the streets of Detroit on his way to a game, and it was late, so he cut through an alleyway to take a shortcut, and a guy there mugged him. And Ty Cobb killed the dude, went to the stadium, and went 5 for 5. Is that not baseball?
I mean,
We do this stuff. We romanticize.
my favorite baseball story, MLB story of all time. I mean, it has to be, dear Christ, the Pirates pitcher who was high on LSD. Why am I forgetting his name? Oh my God. Pirates.
Why am I forgetting his name?
They have the documentary. I never watched it.
His name starts with an L.
Oh my God.
It was like his only good game pitching, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's not very good.
Doc Ellis.
Doc Ellis.
Thank you. I listened to a podcast
That's-
about that.
Doc Ellis?
Yes.
I knew the name. I didn't realize that
thinking
was
Doc
Doc
Gooden?
Ellis.
Are you thinking Doc Gooden?
No, I don't know.
Or Doc Holliday?
Are
R.I.P. Val
Are you
Kilmer.
thinking Doc from Back to the
R.I.P.
Future?
Roy Halladay.
Never saw that. I don't know. You knew the name Doc Ellis. I knew he was a baseball player. Did not know he was the LSD pitcher.
To quote Doc Ellis, "I'm high as a Georgia pine." End of quote.
One of my favorite folklore stories is the 2000 ALCS. Red Sox Yankees, Game 7, extra innings. Tim Wakefield, R.I.P. on the mound.
God, that's wild that he's
Pinch hitter
gone.
Aaron Boone walks up to the plate. Before he walks up to the plate, Derek Jeter turns to him and says, "Hey, the ghosts of Yankee Stadium are here. Earn your pinstripes.
That never happened.
Be patient, wait, and it's yours."
That never happened.
First pitch, Aaron Boone hit a home run and sent the Yankees to the World Series.
And became your favorite manager in MLB history.
You know it, dude, but I love that folklore story. I think that folklore story is absolutely insane.
Do you think that happened?
By all accounts, that happened.
I don't know. That sounds too corny to be true.
Derek Jeter, the captain of the Yankees, says someone earn your pinstripes.
That I believe. The ghosts of
The
Yankee
ghosts
stadiums
are
with
here.
the- Yeah.
He said the ghosts are here.
That just seems a little too movie-like.
What about the divot in right center field of Yankee Stadium? And there was a fly ball to center right, but it was the right fielders, and Joe DiMaggio pulled up and let some rookie put his foot in that divot and blow his ACL out because he was too worried he was going to be better than him.
I'd believe that.
That kid was Mickey Mantle.
Yeah, I'd believe that.
Baseball's so sexy. 6-4-3 double play. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. We do that every day, and it's still so good.
Yeah, I'm calling bullsh on the Derek Jeter, the ghost of.
But Ty Cobb killing a guy in an alley. You're like, yeah, I believe that.
I believe that too. Yeah, I mean, we know Ty Cobb. We know kind of the person he was.
The guy
He
who
pulled his shoe. He pulled his shoe off and just stabbed him with his cleats.
Yes. Yeah. See.
that guy for sure killed someone. Allegedly.
Ty Cobb killed the dude and he went
Way
a
to throw out the
four-bagger.
allegedly, so you're not sued by his estate.
I for sure believe can believe it.
Too.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
I was gonna say I saw that
It's,
email.
it's a blanket excuse, allegedly. Joe, hot starts. What are you believing in?
Hot starts. I do believe in the Chicago Cubs. They were my division winner to start the year, AL Central. And right now they
NL
have
Central.
NL Central. Thank you. Right now they have the best run differential in the National League.
Boy, Kyle Tucker.
And actually, not just the National League. As I look at it right now, in Major League Baseball.
Boy, Kyle Tucker looks real good in a Cub uniform, doesn't he? I want them to open the cash book and just pay him and stay in Chicago. I think
They
he looks
will,
good in the
damn it.
uniform. That stadium is perfect for him. Not as good as maybe Fenway, but he looks the part in that place, does he not?
Yes, and that's why they're going to pay him, Patrick.
You
They're-
think so?
Yes.
All right, I love it.
I am speaking it into existence that it happens. But I mean, their pitching has been pretty solid to start. Shota Imanaga, he's got a under 1 ERA. Justin Steele could be a little bit better, but Jameson Taillon as well. But again, their offense has looked pretty damn good to start the year.
Is this
I'm
the Craig-
fully believing in their start.
Is this the Craig Counsell effect? Like last year, he needed a year to get in, kind of understand what's going on. Now he gets a bona fide superstar in Kyle Tucker, and he's like, oh, okay, here we go. I can move you around this guy.
To his defense, he had a bona fide superstar last year. But
That's true.
if
would you
you're-
rather have Cody or would you rather have
I was going to
Kyle?
say, gun to my head, I'm taking Kyle Tucker
Without a doubt.
9 times out of 10. And I know Cody Bellinger, MVP, but I am definitely more in the camp of Kyle Tucker is able to give me longevity as a consistent player over a longer time frame versus Cody Bellinger being able to do that.
I've got a couple things that I believe in so surprisingly, and I know Boss Man Cooley's going to hate this because he's a Red Sox guy, but
Lots changed in a week, hasn't it?
it's not about the Red Sox. I kind of like this Yankee offense. I kind of really like this Yankee offense. And it's
Well,
not torpedo bats.
I was-
It's Volpe, it's Goldschmidt, it's Jazz looks solid, and Aaron Judge is I know we're only 2 weeks in, but Judge is the runaway front leader for American League MVP.
Yeah. Now I will say their offense has not looked so hot the last couple days.
Understood, but I've seen the bones. I've seen the studs of this house. I've seen how they're building it. And again, we talked about this in the offseason, and I said not signing Juan Soto might have been the best thing for the Yankees because they're more complete.
Yeah, top to bottom, they're better. Devin Williams the other day also did choke a game.
I
at the
know.
end. The bullpen issues, regardless of Devin Williams, might still be an issue for this Yankees team.
Yeah, I know. Luke Weaver, I'm a little worried about him, but Austin Wells is starting to come around as the player we kind of expected him. Volpe's having a decent start to the season. My other big plus, before I throw it back to you, I think Jacob deGrom might be back.
Yeah.
His second start was not so great, but his first start looked like vintage deGrom.
Can he be back for a whole 6 months?
That's the big question. But so far, look, baseball's better when deGrom is deGrom. When deGrom is deGrom, I mean, we're talking Maddox, Gibson, Johnson, Clemens. We're talking like that level. Koufax, like in terms of dominance. When deGrom is deGrom, he is very, very good. And second start, not so great, but the first one, if he's back, oh boy, this Texas team. You know how Bochy was an even year guy in San Francisco? Maybe he's an odd year guy in Texas.
My AL West winner.
Your ALS winner.
But I will say my AL Central winner in Cleveland not doing so hot because the other team that has started hot that I do believe in, it's the Detroit Tigers.
They look good.
Their young talent is showing up this year. Some of their high draft picks of the year is Torkelson.
Well, that's the crazy thing with Detroit.
Casey Mize.
That's the crazy thing with Detroit. Torkelson got sent to the minors last year, and he's one of the hottest players in baseball right now.
Yeah.
Kerry Carpenter, he can't hit righties. Hitting dingers off righties.
Yeah, he has like 4 home runs this week.
Him and Torkelson hit a dinger today. Riley Green's hitting well, too.
Yeah, and then
Imagine if they had Alex Bregman.
I already mentioned him, but Casey Mize in his 2 starts this year, he has given up 1 earned run. Jack Flaherty, he has a sub-3 ERA in his 2 starts. Tarek Skubal, not as great of a start as he would probably like.
Pitch well today, though.
But still under 4 ERA. I'm smelling what the Tigers are stepping in for sure.
My last one, oh shoot, I had it in my brain and I lost it.
The Los Angeles Angels?
No.
Dude, they have been...
That kid Paris, though, he's really good.
The Angels have been mashing the last week.
Well, they're kind of the island of misfit toys right now.
Dude, it's kind of like, I'm waiting. That is one I do not believe in. I'm kind of waiting for things for the bottom to fall out and just be like, that was a fun little week, wasn't it?
The American League MVP is Aaron Judge so far. However,
the Angels have won every series they've played in so far.
However, the guy right behind Aaron Judge right now is Alex Bregman. Fenway is built for him. He's built for Fenway.
Again, a lot has changed in a week for the Red Sox.
Devers is hitting.
Bregman, I think he's batting like 360 now. He had 6 RBIs in a game the other day.
The Reddit highlight of the week for me was in the MLB subreddit. They announced the players of the week were Kyle Tucker for the National League and Alex Bregman for the American League. And the top comment was somebody who said, man, imagine if these guys played on the same team.
What a concept.
What a concept.
Wow.
I thought that was absolutely amazing.
Imagine if these guys had access to a garbage can.
Bregman's built for Fenway. He is.
Yeah, the Red Sox, I am very intrigued to just see how this season continues to play out.
I'm worried about their pitching.
They got this young kid, Willier Abreu, who
Yep.
is raking for him. I mean,
They got young kids everywhere. Roman Anthony is going to be a stud.
they signed Crochet to that long-term deal, and then literally the next day he shuts down my Orioles.
Yep. He
That
threw
div-
today. I haven't seen what he did today, though.
that division, man, it is going to be. I mean, the Blue Jays, to their defense, have not started off too bad either.
The second highest paid player in that division is Vladdy Jr.
Again, this is why coming into the season, I was
Actually,
very
I think Vladdy
intrigued.
makes more than Judge.
I was very intrigued to see what happens with the American League because there's a lot of good teams. I don't know who's going to be the great team out of this bunch, but there's
Right.
a lot of good teams in the American League this year.
That being said, let's switch it to the positive, negative side. What are things that are going wrong in baseball that you truly believe are real things? Not things you think will correct, but things you believe are what we thought they were. That's Joe Fisher. I'm Patrick Harris. Will Ortner on the ones and twos, 1080 The Fan.
The
Wind up in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Coming up here in about 10 minutes, we'll get to Fair or Foul, everybody's favorite. We do it every single Tuesday at the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour, Will Ortner edition. But we
The
just
8 what hour?
bottom of the 8 o'clock hour.
Okay, that there was a soft L there.
Bottom of the 8-0.
No, 8-0 era hour.
Oh,
Yeah, I had to do a double take there.
Sydney Sweeney in the house? Or
Say
what?
what?
I knew I could say that, and the Big O over there would have
She's
a nice,
single.
nice smile on his face. She should come after some Big O action.
Could be worse.
There is some guy.
That's
on,
my goal in life now. Is I ship Will Ortner and Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, ditch that Glenn Powell guy.
There's
I don't even know who that is. Sounds like a loser to me.
He's pretty good looking Hollywood star. And
I've never heard of
and he
him.
got to make out with her naked in a movie.
I've never heard of him.
While her boyfriend, who directed that movie, watched them do that, which
Yep.
is kind of.
I've still never heard of either of them.
Maybe he's into voyeur stuff.
Look, if Colin Jost can get ScarJo, and I can get Abby Harris, like we're in this, dude.
Got this.
There's the one guy on Instagram who is definitely not Sydney Sweeney's type, but his whole like social media joke is that like he's like, God, Sydney Sweeney, these rumors of me and her dating.
Oh, is
and
that
shit."
Zach Riffic or whatever?
Yeah,
That
he's
guy
just like-
cracks me up.
He's just so great with acting it off. He's just like, oh God, I see all these pictures and rumors of us dating, and it's just so embarrassing.
He's like some dumpy, like 22-year-old dude. And he
so
always will be like, oh, these fans have found me. And he'll be like sitting on a bench with like thousands of dollars in his hands and be like,
Oh God, this is so embarrassing.
like, I
that
can't
this
believe you
picture is
found
found.
me with all this money.
Do you guys watch Pop Culture Jeopardy at all?
No, I should. I'd probably crush it.
it's, I think you stream it on Amazon. Colin Jost is the host, and he always does really funny things at the end. He's like, "Thank you for watching Pop Culture Jeopardy. We will see you after my wardrobe change, or in 10 minutes, or whenever you decide to click play again." Like he just buys into the binge streaming sort of situation.
Hey,
But every
That's how you do
time
it.
on that show, it's like Marvel characters. He's like reading the subjects. It'll go Marvel character. He goes, I don't have inside information. I haven't seen her movies. She gets mad at me when I talk about it. You gotta love that. You gotta love that.
hey, you gotta know.
You got a hot, and you don't deserve a hot. So well done.
Also, if you haven't seen the,
I heard he's got a huge talent.
good for him. Also, if you haven't
Well, that's my
seen
wife.
the weekend update where they have to write each other's jokes,
Oh, it's some of the best TV,
dude, there was
especially because it's a black man and a white man.
yes.
So Colin Jost has got to say things. He's like, I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get fired.
Yeah, it's great.
We'll keep on this thread of this theme, I should say, of things you believe that are going on that you will believe are consistent. And I want to take a fun spin on this. Usually we kind of say, oh, this, like Yordan Alvarez is not having a great start to his season, but I believe he's going to pull out of it. I don't think that's fun. What are things that are going on right now that are not good, that are a little unexpected, that you believe are going to keep trending?
That are unexpected.
Unexpected.
Scrolling. Unexpected.
I'll go first if you want me
I mean, I know my one actually. Now that you say it. I mean, the Atlanta Braves cold start is unexpected.
Right.
I had them winning the division this year.
to. Ditto.
I mean, listen, we're 1/16 into the season, still a lot to play.
I think
but,
I have him in the NLCS.
but they are struggling getting dudes to come home and score runs, and it is concerning. And they aren't going to have Acuna for a while. It's
Albies has been tough at the plate.
yeah, they obviously lost their one signee during the offseason because he got popped for performance-enhancing drugs.
that's right. We should have talked
Austin
about
Riley
Profar.
can't hit. Matt
Did we do
Olson.
Profar last week?
Yes.
Did we do Profar? Okay.
Yes. Matt Olson can't hit. Marcelo Zuna, when he's not beating up
women.
then he's not hitting. Again, this team has.
Sale got hit today.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, again, they're.
Striders look good in AAA, but he's still not at the bigs yet.
I mean, Schwellenbach is a stud.
Ooh, that
Is something we
that's
knew.
a fantasy cornerstone
Hey,
right here.
That's
for
something
me.
we knew coming into the season and has held true so far.
25th round keeper for me, Spencer Schwellenbach.
But yeah, it's that is one where I have I've been blindsided by. Did not think the Braves were going to be this bad to start.
A big thing for me that's going on that I firmly believe will continue. I kind of teased this throughout the show. It's that Jose Altuve is a really bad left fielder. He is a really bad left fielder. I've seen him misjudge balls. He does not have the arm in left field to get it back into the infield in the time and pace you need it.
I don't think you would ever be able to rob a home run if that were the case.
Especially in left field in Houston. The wall is, 10,
Any wall.
3 feet high, and he can't jump high enough. That is an experiment that I can't believe they even thought about because it's already failing massively, and it can't get better. It can't get better.
Yeah, it's
And I think
not
the
good, Bob.
Astros, I'm not quite sure what their record is, what their run give up differential is,
I know they're not scoring runs.
but I don't think that team's very good.
I think they might have scored the least amount of runs in the American League. Like they're worse than the Mariners offense to start. Not even kidding.
I don't think that team is very good. And I think that team is going to be in they have a -10 run differential.
Yeah, they've scored 30 runs in 10 games. 30 runs in 10 games, which is
that's
last.
bottom of the American League.
Last in the American League. Very well could be last in
It's bottom of, Colorado Rockies have 31.
Yeah. As do the Atlanta Braves. To think the Braves and Astros already.
What is Colorado Rockies?
The Braves and Astros just suck now. Like these are World Series winners relatively recently, and they are now struggling to score runs at all.
Will, is there something you got that you want to share?
I'd like to say that it's the Mariners' greatness, but unfortunately it is not.
Yeah, we kind of expected that.
Yeah, that's one of those.
Something, if we want to flip it on its head and go back to things that aren't going well that will round themselves out, Mariner pitching will get better.
You would hope. I mean,
Miller's had a rough start.
Castillo's old.
Gilbert was throwing some nasty stuff.
Gilbert had a nasty start, but he also got roughed up a little bit in his second one. They'll be fine.
I'm not
Kirby
worried
will
about
be
the
back
pitching.
in about a month.
Yeah, the pitching is going to be okay. The bats are horrific, and they've like you knew they were going to be horrific going into it, and they are. I guess the one shock would be, if I really wanted to look into it, is how good the Padres started.
I would agree. That is really surprising.
Not that they were good, that they were that good.
Right. They deal Soto. We're talking all off season like they're willing to trade Dylan Cease, and we're like, what are you like? I thought you guys were here to win it. They have started nicely, and I think that's really fun. Hey, the Dodgers are in 3rd place.
Isn't that crazy?
The Giants are really good.
The Giants.
And this is some Bob Melvin magic that I was shocked we didn't see last year, and he's doing it now. I love Jung-Hoo Lee in center. I love him, love him, love him. I wanted him last year to be amazing, and he got hurt early. That team's good.
I think that the Giants are my.
Verlander looks bad, though. He looks old.
The Giants are my Los Angeles Angels of the National League, where it's like nice little start, but
Jim Rat.
Yeah.
Clubhouse guy, first in, last out.
I don't anticipate this to last very long. You have played the Reds, the Astros, and Mariners. 2 of those teams can't score runs. The Reds are always terrible and seemingly can score runs, but just can't pitch.
That might be another thing that's surprising, that Tito hasn't figured out that team yet.
Well, I mean, it's 10. We're 10 games.
Understood, but we're talking about one of the best managers of all time.
Yeah, but also he's old. Like maybe the game has passed him by.
Easy. Hold up. Easy on the Tito hate.
Bite your tongue.
Easy on the Tito hate.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that Giants start for them to come. I wouldn't say collapse, just come back down to earth and have a solid 3rd or 4th place finish in the NL West.
All right, over the next couple of weeks, we'll keep looking around baseball, see things we like, we don't like. Torey Lovullo just got tossed in this game.
Yeah, he was going off.
He was real mad around the 3rd base line, I think it was.
First base.
First base line. He was real mad. So he out this game, but Arizona up 4-2 on Jozos. When we come back, it'll be a Big O edition of Fair or Foul. And speaking of the Big O, here he is with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on 1080 The Fan.
First on The Fan, new regime out in Denver in the NBA. Head coach Michael Malone has been told that he will not be coaching the team anymore for the rest of the season. GM Calvin Booth has been told he will not be extended by the Nuggets at the end of his contract when it expires this offseason. David Adelman's going to take over as the interim head coach for the rest of the regular season and postseason for the Denver Nuggets. In the MLB, Mariners just went 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 6th. You're going to the top of the 7th there. Mariners already in their bullpen against the Astros. That one's in Seattle. It's now 2-4 in Arizona. Diamondbacks got 2 more. against the Orioles. It's the top of the 7th. Baltimore does have a runner on second base. In Sacramento, right now the Athletics are up 9-4 over the NL West leading San Diego Padres. It is the bottom of the 4th there. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Will Ortner from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan Merch Locker has a new
We are in some wild drama right now. Arizona, Baltimore. Jackson Holiday with a basically sac fly to left, but somehow Jackson's on first. There's somebody on third. Throw the ball to second base, and he's out. There's some missed tags.
At what point is a play dead? That's the question.
When the ump says, hey, hold up.
So what happened was Orioles had bases loaded. Jackson Holiday hit a short liner to left field, which was caught
By Luis Gurriel Jr.
Yes, who made a then terrible throw into home. And the guy who was at third did
Tagged
out.
and scored, but the guy at
Second and first,
did not tag.
second and first both did not
Both didn't tag.
They went to third and second. Jackson Holiday thought it was a hit, so he went to first. So bases are loaded right now, but
with a run scored,
but it
and
also
nobody out.
But an out. Yeah, they recorded the out on the scoreboard. Very confusing. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I think the confusing thing is that Gurriel caught the ball and threw it so fast it looked like he didn't catch the ball and knew it.
Did he throw it out of bounds?
I have no idea. All right.
All I know is they should just let all the runners in for the Orioles. They're up 6-4.
That being said, this is Fair or Foul. We do it every single Tuesday night at about the hour. Without further ado, no, I don't want to say pinch hitter.
Pinch slugger.
I want to say this is like an Andrew Miller type reliever coming in.
Ooh.
It's a high leverage guy that should be a closer, but we need to lock down the 7th inning. That's big, Will Ordner.
All right, let's start this one out in New York. Right now, Yankees slugger Aaron Judge. He's leading the MLB in home runs. He's got 6 of them things. RBIs, he's in first as well. He's got 18. And he is in 28th for batting average, but he's at 325. Fair or foul? Judge will win the Triple Crown this year.
Ooh. You know, I want to lean foul just because the Triple Crown is really that hard. It's Miguel Cabrera and Carl Yastrzemski in the last 50 years. But if there's anyone in baseball right now, I think it's Judge. You know what's interesting? Shohei is the unicorn. Judge might be the better pure hitter when you compare the two, right? You know, our National League, American League MVPs for the next 3 years might be Shohei and Judge every year. I think Judge is the better pure hitter. I'll say foul, but only because the Triple Crown is really hard to do. But right now, boy, Judge is back up to his old tricks. He stays healthy. He's got a better shot than anybody since Miguel Cabrera did it. You know what? Screw it. We're here to bet. I won some money last night. We're going to double down. Give me 25 on black. I'll say fair. Aaron Judge, Triple Crown.
Oh, and it's red. I'm going.
Oh, no. We suck again.
I'm going foul that he doesn't get the average. He's going to be probably top 5, top 10 average, I still feel like.
Yeah, it's going to be somebody, you know.
But RBIs and home runs, he definitely has a shot.
I think so, too. It's going to, like a Jose Ramirez could have average.
Well, you know who leads the MLB?
Bobby Witt could have average.
MLB in average right now?
No.
George Springer.
Wow, Toronto could use him.
455, I believe.
He costs a lot of money to do squadouche.
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to stay at 455. But if he does, I will be impressed.
I'm with Will on this. I don't think so either. But I will also be
455.
really impressed. You know, George Springer has the most leadoff home runs of active players.
Wow.
It's like 45.
Yeah, I felt like he did a lot of that in Houston.
Of course he did.
Yeah. And he was doing it the first year or so in Toronto.
Leadoff home runs. I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah.
A couple pitches and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, I will say foul that he'll get home runs and RBIs.
I'll put some dollars. I'll put some dollars in this. I'll say fair. I'll throw a cool 2 units on it.
I think in August, we'll all look up and he'll be in the ballpark for it.
I think so, too.
And I think that is always fun when the MLB has someone where it's like, oh, they got a shot. Like, this is legit. They got a shot at it.
Let's not let Shohei disguise us from the fact that Aaron Judge
is awesome.
Aaron Judge is 150 home runs away from 500. He could do that in the next 3 years.
Dude, they're still looking at this play.
Yeah, because it's an absolute S show.
Well, and I think part of the issue is that the ump didn't call out.
Gurriel's out.
Yeah.
And so nobody's tagging. I would literally throw the ball to second, and you're going to get an out.
Wow, what a mess.
What a mess indeed. Speaking of messes.
No, here we go. Schultze in on the 1s and 2s.
Mariners ace Logan Gilbert right now is tied for the MLB lead in strikeouts. He's had 25 this season in 3 starts. He has a 2.55 ERA despite not having a win yet this year. Fair or foul, Gilbert will have a positive win-loss ratio this year.
Did you mean to say Felix Hernandez and all of that?
It's
Were we
deja
confused?
vu for sure. In multiple ways.
He will have a positive win-loss ratio.
So if he's 11-10 with a 1.7 ERA, that's a positive win-loss ratio.
That is technically over 500.
I could
that would
definitely
be
see
positive.
an 8-7 season because of so many no decisions also that get blown at the end of the game.
8-7 with 15 quality starts.
Doesn't make sense.
But it does if you're in Seattle.
Yeah.
I will start off on this. Logan Gilbert is a top 5 pitcher in Major League Baseball. When the big young kids came up for Seattle, the Woos, the Millers, the Kirbys, the Gilberts, I thought Kirby was the guy. I am wrong. I still think Kirby is a top 10 pitcher in Major League Baseball. Logan Gilbert is a top 3, top 5 pitcher in baseball. That guy is nasty. I know he looks like it, so it's an easy comp, but he's got a lot of Randy Johnson in him. He throws heat. He is smart. He can go distance. I think I'm willing to say, not only am I going to say fair to your question, Will, I think Logan Gilbert will finish in the top 3 Cy Young, and I'll take you even another level. I'll go sandwich bet that Logan Gilbert wins the Cy Young.
Ooh, I'm down for that.
I think he's that good. And this isn't because we focus on the Mariners and Schultz is a Mariners guy. This isn't about fantasy because I got him in the league. This is Logan Gilbert is that nasty. Garrett Cole's out. Who is the front runner in the American League for the Cy Young? Tarek Skubal, right?
Yeah.
He had 2 rough starts. He looked good today.
Zach Eflin.
Logan Gilbert is going to be there at the end of the day.
He's awesome.
I love him.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of pointing going on in this Orioles Diamondbacks game. Yeah,
Well-
you go here. Orioles score. I'm very confused.
Innings over. They got to run.
Are we gonna see Brandon Hyde get run also? Both the managers in like a 15, 20-minute time span?
What if while this was going down, Torey Lovullo texted me, he was like, yo, dude, this is BS. I'm at the bar, dude. 5 minutes away. Come meet me. Drink. First round's on me.
I'm going to say fair that Gilbert will get enough wins versus losses that he will have a positive win-loss ratio. It's not going to be by a lot, but it'll happen.
Although I am now rooting for Gilbert for Logan to have 8 wins, 10 losses, 15 quality starts. No, 22 quality starts and a 1.98 ERA.
It would be the most.
That would be the greatest
hilarious stat
season
line.
we've ever seen in our life.
It would be the most hilarious stat line of all time. I want to say that since he's entered the majors, he leads the MLB in 1-run losses.
Felix.
He is Randy Johnson and Felix rolled into one.
When Randy left Seattle, he became a Hall of Famer.
Also, quick look in on the Mariners. Houston is up 1-0 in the 7th inning.
And who threw today? Luis Castillo.
And he actually
Castillo
looked
threw a
good.
gem today.
He looked good.
Was it Luis F.
No.
Castillo?
No.
Or- Okay.
Luis, $40 million, Castillo.
It was the good one.
The good one.
The good one.
Well,
pitched.
that's debatable, too.
Fair.
Yeah, Luis Castillo went 5 innings today, 5 hits, 0 earned, 2 walks, and it will be a no decision.
How many Ks?
6.
Not bad. That's a good day at the office. It's a
Well,
good day at the office. Bad for your fantasy because no quality start. That's a good day at the office.
It's a good day at the office. Well, we're going to stick in the West, but we're going to go to the National League. Right now, the National League West has 3 teams with a 69.2% win percentage or higher.
Nice.
Right now, the Dodgers are in 3rd, Giants in 2nd, Padres in 1st. Fair or foul, the NL West, when all is said and done, will be the best division in baseball.
What is Colorado Rockies?
They're not very good.
The NL West, huh? They're not good yet.
Give them time.
Give them 10 years.
There's 4 teams.
Oh, let's
They all
take a
spend
look.
money.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if it's not the NL West, it's the American League East. But again,
Can I
start that we have had for this NL West is really nice, and it's. I mean, those top. The Pirates, Dodgers, Diamondbacks, I believe in. Like I said, I'm waiting for the
You're out on the Giants.
Giants to
I think
regress
that's
to
a
the
fair
mean.
to be out.
Yes.
Foul.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
What is... Please define the term success, because I will throw this at you.
Okay.
Last year, the American League Central, which most people always pick for dead, put 3 teams in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
1 in the American League Championship Series. So what determines the best division?
That's a good
Playoffs?
question. I think playoffs.
Win totals?
I think we're going playoffs here. Who would put the most teams in the playoffs? Because if you went by win totals or combined win totals, like that might not be fair. This Padres team is so good right now. The Dodgers, they're gonna be right around 100 wins, maybe 105. I don't know that they get to 116 Mariner territory, but they're going to have a lot of wins. So I wouldn't combine them, but let's go playoff seeding. That's an easy boom. Hey, they made it in the playoffs.
You said fair, Joe?
Yeah.
I'm going to say foul. Only because I think the American League West is worse than I thought it would be. I think the American League Central is worse than I thought they would be. I think the Red Sox are better than I thought they would be. I truly believe Tampa is going to do Tampa things. And Toronto has started hot. And I love the O's. I picked them to win the division. And Aaron Judge looks like he's a one-man record. I think it's the American League. So I'll say foul for fun.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
honestly,
I think it's the American League East.
if they're not the best, they're second best. But I'm telling you what, man,
Totally. Between these two, whoever's not, it's the other one.
But the Rays, they are looking bad. They've lost 5 straight. The Orioles have, trust me, been very underwhelming since that beginning series.
Isn't that the truth? Like, the offense looks bad.
Yeah, the
And
offense
we,
is.
and we knew the pitching was going to be bad. You can't have the offense look bad.
Yeah, it's something's got to turn around here soon for this Orioles team because the mojo is not great. Little fun fact for the Mariners crew out there. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
So again, they're losing to the Houston Astros 1-0. They have scored more than 5 runs only twice this year.
Lost both games.
Yes, sir.
Ouch.
Yep. Sorry, it pains me as I just watched Dominic Canzone strike out on a ball that I'm pretty sure rolled the last 5 feet.
They
do you have a VPN on in there or what, dude?
I have I know how Schultz watches things.
does he head east?
No, he
Does he head to the crack
Are
or
we
the meth?
sailing the high seas?
No, he pays for something. And I was like, I'm pretty sure the Mariners are going to be on this.
All right, we're going to go to break. And
Not
during break,
OnlyFans.com, LonelyFans.com.
we're going to go to break, and Will Ortner is going to come in here and show Joe and I how to do that in here. That's
if he's
next.
logged in.
We'll wrap this bad boy up. The Hot Corner, 1080 The Fan.
The Fan is live.
idea what they decided. They just ended the inning. They were just like, this inning's over. It's 4-3. We're walking away. All of you guys go back to your dugouts.
Yeah, they basically said that Cedric Mullins, you did tag up. You did score. You're good.
Everybody else, go home.
Tyler O'Neill, you did not. Whoever was at first, you did not.
Jackson Holiday, you're out.
And we're going to assume that we threw the ball to one of those bases that you should have been on and call you out and double play end of inning.
Hey, for fantasy, Jackson Holiday got an RBI. That's all I care. That's all I care about.
Yeah, well, if my Orioles can get a GD win, that's all I care about. They did win last night against the Diamondbacks, so I'd like a series win here. That'd be nice.
Joe, sometimes we like to use this time to talk about non-baseball stuff, and usually we do like TV and stuff. Are you watching anything cool? Because I'm really watching something cool. I asked this question so you would ask me what I'm watching.
Oh, well, maybe I can filibuster for 4 minutes to not get to what you're watching. We finished up season 3 of White Lotus.
We're only one episode in. Because
season 3?
Yeah, we got sidetracked.
So your boy is now going back and watching season 2. And I'm 3.
Oh, because you haven't seen 1 or 2.
I've seen 1.
Okay.
1's in the bag. I needed to go back.
3 is now in the bag.
3 is in the bag, so I need to go back to season 2.
All right.
And it's not like there's a storyline that transcends through the show.
Even in the 3rd one?
Uncle Rico.
Yeah, Uncle Rico and Tanya.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's things, and Belinda. You remember Belinda from season 1?
Yeah. Well, I've seen 1 and 2.
Yeah, so that storyline continues throughout the show.
All right, I like
But there's the newer,
Yeah.
anthology-esque
Jason
newer
Isaacs.
storylines.
I love Jason Isaacs. I love him as
That's
an actor.
the dad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
He's
him
pretty
so
good
much.
in that.
Dude, he's Malfoy. He's Lucius Malfoy in Harry Potter.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, he's
Wait,
so good.
Malfoy's like dad?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's Malfoy. He's Draco Malfoy's dad. He is the main bad guy in The Patriot with Mel Gibson. USA.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is such a good actor.
You're blowing my mind right
Yeah,
now.
he is a fantastic actor. He's like a Jeremy Irons. Like, not somebody that is always in blockbusters, but whatever movie's in, he's really good, and he's usually a bad guy, and he's really good at it.
Well, that is White Lotus to a T. It's like we're just gonna get a lot of like B to B plus.
They do it all the time.
We're gonna
Steve
get that
Zahn in season 1.
He was great.
He was so good. The dude from Sopranos in season 2,
Michael Imperioli.
he's so good in that.
Chrissy.
Yeah.
I loved Saxon's character. I know
Patrick Schwarzenegger.
I know so many dudes who are Saxon.
I've only seen 1 episode.
I'm not
so
going to spoil
please
it.
don't ruin season 3.
Not going to
for me.
spoil it at all for you. Just know I love that guy. He makes me laugh.
So yeah, I'm I think 3 episodes into season 2. All I know is that one dude is gonna try and get with Aubrey Plaza's character. He's leading his wife, making it seem like he's not interested. He's already he got butt naked in front of her.
It's more complex than that.
Oh, I'm sure.
He had to change.
I'm sure.
It's just changing.
He had
The
to
dude,
change, man.
The dude basically hung dong right in front of her.
How else
right?
are you supposed to get in your swim trunks?
I don't know, in an area not directly behind her while she's in a bathroom with a giant mirror. And look at that. Now we don't get to talk about what you're watching.
Congratulations, Joe. Congratulations. All right.
So what are you watching?
I am currently, so Abs and I are finishing Severance and White Lotus. Those are the 2 shows we were in. One night we were like, I said to her, I can't pay attention. Both those shows are pay attention shows. Can we watch something that we can just have on? She goes, yeah, I heard The Pit's pretty good. And she put on The Pit. Addicted. Absolutely addicted.
My girlfriend's watching
It's
that.
so good. It is so good.
Is it 15 episodes?
It's 24 in an ER.
Yeah.
So each episode is like 55 minutes long, and it covers an hour
Of
in the
a-
same ER
of a
on
dude's
the same
shift.
day.
Yeah.
On the one shift in an ER in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
That's why it's The Pit, Pittsburgh.
Oh, go Panthers, baby.
And Noah Wiley is absolutely incredible. The show is so good.
Yeah.
I want to go home and watch some, but my wife will be asleep.
I've heard good things, and I'm going to go watch some more season 2 of White Lotus tonight.
All right, that'll do it.